Hey guys, it's Dave here from CigarNoise, and we're chilling with Rich
Hey guys, how you doing?
and Carson Serino of Serino Cigar Company.
How you guys doing?
Show them your shirt, Carson.
Oh, right
Super
here.
stoked about this one.
Gotta rep it. Cigar Noise shirt.
Hey,
Yes.
And it's funny because I went on vacation and I wanted this to come. I wanted to rep it all the way while I was in Puerto Rico. I was gonna wear this thing nonstop, and it came to me a day late, and I was like, damn. So I didn't get it till like 2 weeks after everyone, and I was on the Cigar Noise app seeing everyone like open up their boxes, and I was super bummed about it, but finally got it. Repping it ever since. So. I've been around tobacco my whole life. My dad started it when I was about 5.5 years old, 20 years ago, with Nino Vasquez and APS Distributors, which is, we got a factory in, two in Dominican, in Tamboril and Santiago, and he pretty much started with just making valued smokes, bundled cigars. He does it for a lot of the big companies that you see there today, a lot of the big internet distributors. He makes a lot of their seconds, and then we had a big bundle following, and then we got in the medium tier boxes with better grade tobacco in Dominican. We make the Vallejuelos, which some people know about. They're a very good valued stick. They did really well with reviews and stuff. And you know, right when I was about ending college a couple of years ago, I was coming out and I really wanted to get into the cigar industry. And me and my father started talking about pairing with a Nicaraguan cigar maker. We toured many factories, and we met Omar Gonzalez Alaman with the La Corona factory. And after a couple tours there, we just kind of knew it was our guy. And ever since, the Serino Cigar Co. was formed, and our first line, Serino Royale, has come to fruition ever since. So,
Which leads me directly to round one. What the fuck, bro? Where are these cigars? Where can we buy them? And why do I not have my favorite Medio so far?
well, we only wanted, we're in about 30 stores right now. We just started shipping last week, so they're all landing right now. In about 2 weeks, 10 days, they'll be on AtlanticCigar.com right now. They're going to be the only online carriers. And that's because we're great friends with Paul. We do a lot of stuff with him. We also make some of his bundles from our Dominican factories, and we've known him for years. That it's all family owned, and they're just great guys. And when they tried our cigars, they really got behind it, and they're going to do a lot to support us and also stay true to our brand. It's kind of hard finding an internet company that doesn't want to discount you and use your discounts against you, and try to undercut retailers, and that's what we can't do.
into round two.
Okay?
What's it like working with Omar?
It's a dream, man. Especially for someone who's known a good amount of tobacco, but not as much, and always, like, I'm always trying to learn more. I'm always reading books. I'm always reading other people's blog forums, other people's, you know, what they're doing with their product, how they're branding. When I met Omar, he's got a lot of, you know, broken English, so it's kind of hard to understand him. But his son Lewis, who's been doing it with him, like me, you know, his whole life. You know, Lewis has really grown up around tobacco. So me and him hang out all the time. He taught me a lot about the different rolling processes, fermenting, how things should be aged, everything, about storing cigars post-roll, like our Royales are. They're all made in 2014 and then packaged in 2016, which CigarNoise helped me a lot with that packaging. We weren't really going to mention that too much, just kind of let the cigars do the talking. And then you guys were all like, no, you should definitely put a roll-in date. So I appreciate that. But to better answer the question, he's truly a master. He grew up in the Pinar del Rio region in Cuba on Rabaña's farm, is where he worked as a boy, like 10 to 15, 16. And then he started working at the Partagas factory just as a roller there, but he kind of shined. And La Corona in Havana, Cuba, who makes Romeo and Julieta, Cuava, Hoyo de Monterrey, and some Monte Cristos. Monte Cristos kind of spread out all across Cuba. He became the general manager over there, and for 50 years, especially when Cuban cigars were really coming into prominence, all the way to like the late 90s is where he was at. So a lot of those cigars people came to fall in love with, he blended. So he really is a master of his craft. just everything he does from, the way he seeds his tobacco to fermenting and then his rolling process. It's truly remarkable. So working with him and Lewis has just been, a really special part of my journey. So.
Round 3. If your cigars fell into a black hole and came back to us as people, not cigars, but were granted cosmic superpowers, what would the powers be?
I would like to say never-ending endurance. Probably, not being able to be hurt, because I like to think that our cigars are very well balanced and they're smooth from beginning to end. So, just
Dexterity.
Dexterity, yeah. So, so maybe those two powers, and maybe like healing powers as well, because I know when I have a bad day, to go back to the Serino Royale box is definitely something special for me and a way to have a good nightcap on a bad day. So,
would they wear a cape?
Of course they would. Of course they would. They gotta wear a cape. Everything with superpowers gotta wear a cape.
Round 4. What's the question you were hoping that we would not ask?
Probably about the FDA. But as I said, we're positioned pretty well because of how long we've been in business, and thankfully the workhorse behind us with Nino Vasquez and APS has given us a lot of know-how and brand names to be able to work and mitigate through the FDA.
Round 5. What's the reception been like so far for your cigars?
So the reception has been great so far. Sitting down with people and getting them to try our smokes and just learning more about them and them learning about us and who our blenders are and how much we put into our tobacco. And then at the end of the day, it's just about the cigar. And, once people try it, they really have given us positive feedback, and that's something we're really thankful for. So
I'm enjoying this one right now, so there's some positive feedback for you too.
Right on.
Roll into round 6. Your family's been in the tobacco business for a while now. What made you interested in breaking into the cigar industry?
I fell in love with premium cigars, so we wanted to pair with somebody who could provide that with us. And it's not so much the quality of tobacco of what we were producing. It was mainly because we had to buy a lot of our tobacco from other people. So we wanted to find somebody that was totally vertically integrated. Somebody like Omar that, seeds his own seeds, ferments and cures his own tobacco, and then has his own set of rollers with a very unique style, and did everything from the ground up. And that's why when we found him and through connections we've made in the cigar industry, we started getting into the premium market. So for me and my father, it was really a dream come true. Before it just was about not having the avenue to do so.
Round 7. If we were to be allowed access into the Serino Situation Room, what types of products would we see being considered for the future?
The way our branding is going to go, we're mixing it up with really high-class stuff, and then I want to do some alternative stuff as well, kind of like a studio series. The Serino Signature Series is going to be another pretty high-end cigar, very nice, elegant packaging. And then I also really love Cuban-styled cigars and Cuban-styled blends with like a nice Habano wrapper. So everything that has a Spanish name on it is going to be a Cuban-styled boxes. We're doing one called El Rey Sol, which means the Sun King, which is a Connecticut shade-grown cigar, bow to the sun. Catch line, El Rey Sol. So I'm pretty excited about that one. La Flor Roja, it means the red flower, is going to be a beautiful risotto wrapper that Omar was able to get, which I'm really excited about. And like I said, those two ones will be in Cuban sizes. And then we have the alternative brands. I really like the one I was talking about the people on CigarNoise with, Buckle and Rope, because I like the idea. I like accessories too. It's going to be a 5-pack of cigars with a nice journal-styled fastened buckle, and then the bands will just be a little rope as the band, one that kind of locks over, and that's going to be done in a very alternative style branding. And then anchors and arrows. I like the idea of doing 2 sizes for each, an anchor, and 2 sizes for arrow and 2 sizes for anchors. The arrows would be a Bellicoso styled Corona Gorda, thin like an arrow, and then a Lancero Bellicoso, which no one does. No one does a Lancero Bellicoso, and that literally, when Omar made it, it looked like a little arrow. And then the anchors are going to be a Robusto Gordo and another, it's not a 60, it's a 58, and it has an extended pigtail on it like an anchor. And it has a kind of funky styled cap on it that makes it literally look like a little anchor on it. So that's one I'm pretty excited about. That will be rebranded under like something Serino Cigar Co. Studio Series.
You've been hugely active on social media, especially the CigarNoise community. What piqued your interest in being a social butterfly?
Found it to be the most genuine form of marketing. You know, really getting not just to know the retailer, but getting to know the end user. And that's something I really wanted this brand and us to come across as, just genuine people trying to make good cigars and not selling cigars. I don't say really selling, like, yes, we're trying to make money, but it's not our main goal. What we're trying to do is share the smokes that we're making with, you know, our friends and family. You know, I try to use the word share when I talk to people because that's all you're doing. You're sharing an experience. And social media, I found, you know, being receptive and being responsive to people was the best way to really build, you know, a community of cigar lovers that, you know, really believe in your brand.
All right, for round 9, what's the purpose between having a Maduro and a Maduro XX line?
I wanted to do the Maduro XX separately, but getting ready for the IPCPR, and you wouldn't believe, talking to band makers and box makers, how overrun they were. So they were like, man, we got to have one logo, one everything, or we're not going to be able to get it done. And we seeked out every avenue we could for all those, but it was about getting plates with the band makers, getting box makers done. It wasn't like the past few years we could get a bunch of different brands done and get them to the IPCPR in time. And we really loved all 4 different blends. And the Maduro really shows well in big ring gauges. And then the XX is all Cuban styles, 48 to 54. You know, pretty much getting it to market in time before the IPCPR, and making sure that we had, for our debut, all the flavor profiles covered and every gauge covered for smokers.
Yeah. All right, round 10. In a speed round, name your favorite craft beer pairings with each of the Serino Royale series.
Cool. Right on. All right, well, my favorite pairing of all of them is with our Connecticut. And it's not my favorite of the blends. I love that blend, but it's not my favorite. But my favorite pairing is doing I might butcher the pronunciation of it, but a Berliner Weiss with the Connecticut. And the Medio, that does really good with I found with lagers, oakier beers, it really brings out the cedar and the vanilla. The Maduro does really well with stouts, oatmeal stout, coffee stout, and then my favorite pairing with the XX, which I love to do as well, is porters, and I really love one specific porter that I have all the time. Athens Brewery's, Terrapin Brewery's Liquid Bliss chocolate peanut butter porter with that XX, because it has chocolate and earth and leather notes in it, and I really love adding that peanut butter chocolate to it, and I drink that all the time, especially because I love the city of Athens and Terrapin Brewery, and I drink that Liquid Bliss with that XX all the time. It is phenomenal.
Carson, man, we really appreciate you. I know I didn't get to attend the meet and greet the first time around, but is there anything else you want to say to the noise community?
Yeah, just, you know, like I said before, I really do. I appreciate everyone that's, you know, taken a liking to our blends, and, you know, more so, I know how hard it is to bring a new cigar to market. You know, for trying us out and taking the time and, you know, spending the money to give our cigars a shot. It really means a lot to me and my dad and Omar and Lewis. and you know, as genuine of a thank you as I can. You know, I really appreciate CigarNoise. So, yeah.